is Joy News Prime.
Tonight on Joy News Prime, Munche 3 to walk free after serving just about a month of their sentences following the decision of the president to exercise his prerogative of mercy. Opposition parties staged demonstration in the northern regional capital Tamale to protest what they describe as harsh economic conditions prevailing in the country, even as the president begins his campaign tour of the region. The Inspector General of Police, on a visit to the eastern region town of Donkokrom, which rioted against the police last week, has condemned the residents' action. But the residents have also expressed disappointment at the IGP's decision to withdraw his men from the town.
And coming up in business tonight, Finance Minister Setekwe justifies persistent issue of bonds on the international market, saying it is the most appropriate way to manage the country's debt in a sustainable manner.
Elsewhere in Tamale, the police says it has uncovered the training ground of an armed robbery squad and killed one member in an ensuing shootout with the armed men. But residents of the area say the supposed armed robber killed by the police is an innocent taxi driver. My name is Israeli, and Joy News Prime is still the most comprehensive 2 hours of television news in Ghana. It is also available across Europe on ABN television. Stay tuned. In our very first story this evening, President John Mahama has pardoned the 3 persons serving a 4-month jail term for criminal contempt. A radio host with Accra-based Munti FM, Salifu Mase, and 2 panelists, Alistair Nelson and Godwin Akugan, were found guilty for threatening some Supreme Court judges presiding over a case involving the Electoral Commission. A statement signed by Communications Minister Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah said the decision was taken on the advice of the Council of State and was on compassionate grounds. I'll bring you the statement which we have coming through. It says the president grants remission of sentence to 3 contemnors. And it says the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has, in consultation with the Council of State and in exercise of his constitutional powers under Article 72 of the Constitution, remitted the remaining prison sentence imposed on 3 persons, Salifu Mase, Elias Mugabe, Alistair Nelson, and Akugan, who were sentenced to 4 months imprisonment and a fine of 10,000 cedis each for contempt of court. The remission is effective 26 August 2016. The 3 were sentenced on 27 July 2017 and have served part of the prison sentences imposed on them. They have also paid the 10,000 cedis fines. The decision of His Excellency, the President, to remit their sentences on compassionate grounds follows a petition submitted to him by the contemnors appealing to the President to exercise his prerogative of mercy, even as they continue to express deep remorse and regret for the unacceptable statements they made against the judiciary. His Excellency President Mahama takes this opportunity to remind all Ghanaians of the need to respect the institutions of state and exercise freedom of speech responsibly, mindful of the need to preserve peace and national unity. The President reminds all concerned persons, especially persons working in the media or appearing on its platforms, to be circumspect and guard against the use of intemperate language, which has the potential of causing unnecessary tension, especially in this election year. And it concludes, the President is hopeful that all will draw lessons from the events leading to the conviction of the 3 persons and bear in mind the consequences of injudicious utterances. And it's signed by Communications Minister Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah. Now I'll be getting some analysis. We'll be doing some analysis on this. But one of the lawyers for the convicts, George Lowe, was grateful to the President for the remission. He spoke on Newsnight on Joy FM.
I think that we cannot be anything else but grateful. I'm sure that my clients are extremely grateful wherever they are once they get admitted.
So, at this rate, when do you expect them out?
Well, as the communication says, it says that on the 26th, on 27th, 26th, so I think that any day after the 26th, once the appropriate documentation has been done, they would come up.
That means they just would have served just about a month.
Well, would have spent a month, not just.
Okay, a month.
A month can be a very long time in prison.
And 26th is Friday, so you expect them, say, to come out close of day Friday?
All things being equal.
Okay. You know what? So I don't know. Have you been in touch with them yet? Do they have the news?
Well, no.
Did you expect this? I mean, effectively, the president had knocked off 3 months of the sentence. Even in your most optimistic, were you expecting this?
Well, we were expecting the president to exercise his power in consultation with the Council of State. I'm sure that the president and the Council may have looked at taking several factors into consideration. And this is the test that is giving us, and we are grateful.
So as I indicated earlier, we'll try and bring you some analysis on this decision by the president to grant the remission of sentence to the Muntie contemnors. But in other stories, the Inspector General of Police, John Kodalo, has condemned last week's vandalism on police property at Donkokrum in the Eastern region. The town's residents went on rampage, setting fire to the police station and sacking the police barracks over the escape of 2 police officers arrested for their involvement in an attack on a Ghana Commercial Bank bullion van. The IGP subsequently announced an evacuation of the police, vowing not to bring them back until the police station had been restored. On a visit to the town on Monday, Mr. Kodalo expressed his disappointment at the conduct of the residents.
IGP on Monday embarked on a mission to get first-hand information about the riots that ensued between the police and residents. The clash left at least 21 people injured and the police station vandalized. According to the IGP, it is unlawful for any citizen to destroy police property and attack officers. He has assured perpetrators will be brought to book. The IGP, John Kodalo, as part of his visit, tasked his men to exhibit professionalism in the discharge of their duties and ensure that they act lawfully to ensure order. He, however, expressed disappointment in the confusion that led to the destruction of several properties, including the police barracks and a vehicle, among others.
Policemen, the public have, relinquished a lot of their power to us to do. They could have as well gone to buy guns and protect their own, keep work to ensure that they are safe. But they trust us that we can do it. That's why they have given us that authority to do it on their behalf. So there's no reason that we can fail. When we fail them, of course, they have reason to be uncomfortable. But all the same, there are procedures in the civil society for them to go about it. I personally don't see why they should attack the cops and casualties, no matter the provocation and the reasons that they had.
The IGP held a stakeholders meeting with DISEC and the chiefs and residents of Donkokrum to dialogue and find a lasting solution to the problem.
Also, police in Tamale on Saturday uncovered a hideout in the Ramsar site they say has been a training ground for some suspected armed robbers. The police had chanced upon the shooting range upon a tip-off following a robbery in the Tamale metropolis. One suspected armed robber was killed in an ensuing shootout, whilst 2 others were arrested. Now, residents of the area are, however, contesting the claim by the police that the deceased is an armed robber. Tamale correspondent Kwame Yanka sent in this report.
Tamale Regional Police PRO ASP Julian Obin told Joy News that the suspects, upon seeing the police, opened fire, prompting the police to return the fire, leading to the death of one of the 5 suspects, 2 of whom were arrested, while the other 2 escaped. The robbery gang is suspected to be behind some robberies within Tamale and its environs.
What we have seen is that this is a new novelty by the robbers. They have created their own improvised private shooting range at Tamale Community 3, the Ramsar site, where they do their rehearsals. They use empty plastic bottles as their target. At the scene, when we visited, obviously they were busy rehearsing to rob their next victim. Now, when we got that information, quickly the police command dispatched some patrol teams, and when we got to the scene, upon seeing the police, they opened fire on police, and then police returned fire, instantly killing one. The others who are on the run, there are 2 of them, but of course, because investigations are ongoing, we wouldn't want to put the names on board. At the scene, we were able to retrieve 72 cartridges made up of Trust Super Halcon and Alphamat AAA short cartridges, and some empty plastic bottles, as I've already mentioned, which are used as targets for their rehearsal at their private shooting range.
They are suspected to have carried out an attack at Sinto Steel Manufacturing Company at Tema Heavy Industrial Area at 2 a.m. Saturday, which put the police on high alert. At Sinto Steel, the 5 robbers attacked the security men on duty and ransacked the offices and residence of Chinese expatriates living in the same premises. According to ASP Julian Obeng, the robbers made away with some personal items, including phones, laptops, an unspecified amount of money and other valuables.
The Tamale Regional Police Command yesterday, Saturday the 20th of August, shot and killed an armed robber and arrested 2 others who belonged to a robbery gang that were involved in a successful robbery operation that same Saturday and other robberies that had happened within the Tamale region over a period. On Saturday at 2 a.m., this robbery gang attacked Centio Steel Limited, which is a steel manufacturing company at Tema Industrial Area here in Tema. The armed robbers attacked the security men who were on duty and ransacked the offices and residents of the Chinese expatriates who are staying within the same premises.
The Tema Police Command is urging residents and health centers to be on the lookout and report anyone who seeks medical care with gunshot wounds to the nearest police station. A report by Kwame Yanka for Joy News.
Staying with the police, Accra Region Police Command has busted a car snatching syndicate, which includes 2 police officers. The 2 officers were arrested at their duty post in Accra. 7 cars have so far been retrieved, with investigations still ongoing to retrieve more. 2 of the gang members are, however, on the run, with one suspected to be the gang leader.
The Regional Police Command has busted a car snatching syndicate, which includes 2 policemen, namely number 40965, General Corporal Bismarck Intim, area striker, age 32, number 44827, General Lance Corporal Francis Opoku Jao, age 29. They are all stationed at the Accra Regional Bravo SWAT unit, which we call the Striking Force. Other suspects include Michael Ajay Donko, alias Abrifi, age 36, profession driver. Nana Intim Jakari, alias Nana Ochre, age 28, profession social worker. Then we have George Eshom, alias Kofi, age 29, profession businessman. Ure Hari Kofi, age 32, profession businessman. 7 different vehicles so far have been retrieved. Investigations are still ongoing. The suspects shall be arraigned before court. Meanwhile, the Police Regional Command wants to assure the public that we are very much alive and will go after all the criminals, and we shall get them, we shall arrest all of them. To the public, we want to advise them that they should install car tracking devices in their vehicles, and remember to remove their ignition keys from the vehicle whenever they intend to come out of the vehicle. They should be attentive to suspicious phone calls and other conversations by their vehicles. A life lost is irreplaceable. Always remember not to struggle with the attacker. The police will surely go after them.
All right, you're watching Joy News Prime, and we're returning to our top story. The breaking news just is coming through, and the President Mahama has pardoned the three persons serving a 4-month jail term for criminal contempt. A radio host with Accra-based Muntie FM, Salifu Masi, and 2 panelists, Alistair Nelson and Godwin Akogan, were found guilty for threatening some Supreme Court judges presiding over a case involving the Electoral Commission. A statement signed by Communications Minister Dr. Edward Omane Boama said the decision was taken on the advice of the Council of State and was on compassionate grounds. Now, the statement goes on to state that the remission is effective 26 August, which is this Friday. We're joined on the line right now by law lecturer at the Central University College, Chale Wote, for some analysis on this. Good evening to you, Mr. Opong.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Right. So what was your first reaction upon hearing this?
Well, I wasn't surprised, except that in view of a suit that has been filed in the Supreme Court, and also I'm aware that an application for injunction has been filed. That is what caused a bit of surprise to me, that in the face of that, the President so acted in remitting the sentence. But as for the act of doing so, I wasn't surprised, because from the communication that came earlier on in the discussion, I held a strong view that the President was going to act on.
All right, there are several who indicated that if the President went ahead to do this, it would be an affront to the judiciary. Are you one of those?
I won't say yes or no. I said that on the face of the constitutional provision, Article 72, the President who exercised the power in this regard. But I said that the Constitution goes beyond mere letter. We also have the spirit of the Constitution. And mind you, if the President acted in this regard, he was likely to breach the spirit of the Constitution, which outlines the issues of limitation on how to exercise executive power, what others may also call constitutionalism. Is it fair and proper that just because these persons appear to be associated with the President, at least the words of one of them, the President should act in this manner, when others are also in jail, and they could only be released normally on 1st July. So what would have informed this decision, to the exclusion of all others? That was my concern.
All right, now, you're definitely not a judge, but how do you foresee the judiciary reacting to this? I don't expect that they will come out publicly to speak, but do you foresee some development on their part?
Well, I don't think so. Even if they do, that cannot form the basis of any judgment they give in court. I mean, as persons and as citizens of Ghana, they may have their own view, whether adverse opinion or not, on what the President has done. But I would be surprised if any of them will be acting or will be in deciding cases who allow their adverse opinion or otherwise exercise on their mind when they are deciding cases. That will not be part of the exercise of judicial power or proper exercise of judicial power. So in my view, they may have their own views about it, their own opinions, but they ought not affect decisions they give in court or the manner in which they will exercise their power. I would be surprised if they find it not to be the right way, would have exercised their minds when they are giving judgment.
All right, so the statement that came from the presidency indicated that the remission is effective 26 August 2016. Are we to expect that the Muntie 3 are going to be walking out on the 26th of August?
Well, I think that he's remitting it to 1 month. So it means that I think on that would be about a month since they have been in lawful custody. So on that day, when all the documentation is done, there will be no reason why. In fact, after that, I believe that any day they will spend in the prison, except where they have not completed unlimited documentation, will itself amount an unlawful act by the prison service or their directors. So if they are able to work on all their documentation and nothing else will hold them, then I expect that on Friday they should hit town. They should hit the Tamale road into Accra or wherever their final destination may be.
All right, now finally, there's this case that you mentioned earlier that is in court trying to stop this particular action by the president. I guess that case becomes moot.
No. Well, the law, as I understand it, is clear that once an application for injunction is filed and it is served on a party, and the party goes ahead to the very thing it is being restrained to do, that can itself amount to contempt. I do not know whether the president's lawyer, that's the Attorney General, or the Attorney General being the nominal defendant for the state, has been served with that application. If she has been served, then a whole new perspective about this case will arise. Then we are watching and observing with keen interest in this matter.
It's interesting that you raise a possible contempt situation, but kindly explain to us once again the difference between remission and a pardon.
Oh, well, they all come under the subtitle prerogative of mercy. The remission will, if, for example, you were convicted and sentenced to death, they can be remitted to life. If you were given 25 years, it can be remitted to, let's say, 5. And if you were given, say, 5 years, then it can still be remitted to maybe 0 year or something like that. Generally, it is called prerogative of mercy. Sometimes people also call it pardon, presidential pardon. It is the same thing, but it depends on what has been done in fact. And people haven't even realized that it even includes civil matters. So, for example, if you were a court of law had given judgment that you are to pay to the state 5 million Ghana cedis, the government can decide that you pay just 2 million. Or that even the government can decide that, or the president can decide that you are not to pay at all. It involves civil matters as well. So, on the whole, you can call it the exercise of prerogative of mercy, presidential pardon, but the word used in the Constitution is the prerogative of mercy. And sometimes, to get to the end of the Constitution, it also mentions pardon.
All right. Okay, thank you very much.
I'm grateful, sir.
Yao Pong. Yao Pong is a lecturer at the Central University College. You're watching Joy News Prime, and the breaking news, or the top story we have at this time of the evening, is that President John Mahama has pardoned or remitted the sentence of 3 persons serving a 4-month jail term for criminal contempt. They are supposed to be out by this Friday after serving just about a month of their 4-month sentence. You're watching Joy News Prime. We're taking a break, but we have more stories coming up. Don't go away. You're watching Joy News Prime. In a bit, we'll bring you business news, and Emmanuel is already here. But Emmanuel, before you bring us the business news, we're just getting some reaction to our top story, which is the presidential pardoning of the Muntie contemnors. And I'll read this reaction from the New Patriotic Party. It says, MPP condemns release of Muntie FM3. It says, the New Patriotic Party has noted the statement signed by the Communications Minister, Dr. Eduardo Mane-Boama, which granted a remission of sentence to the 3 jailed individuals cited to have scandalized the courts and threatening judges of the Republic of Ghana. We are indeed disappointed in the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, for this singular act, which appears to be an endorsement of behaviors unacceptable in our society. These are individuals who were jailed legally by the courts to deal with recalcitrant behaviors and a creeping social canker that would devour this nation if not checked. We wish to state clearly that the NPP abhors disrespect of authority and would not associate with this action taken by the President. We wish to also demand that the President take steps to reverse the decision reached as it stands to open our judiciary to attacks that would not benefit this country. As a result, we call on all Ghanaians to take a cue from this and ensure that they vote out this incompetent administration in order to restore law and order in the Ghanaian society. So it's just one of the statements or one of the reactions we're getting from the New Patriotic Party. Now, the story or the statement has also been posted on our Facebook page. You can also go there and let's have your reactions to that. We'll take business news now. Emmanuel, good evening to you.
Good evening to you,
right.
Israel.
You take it over.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks for joining me on business. Now, Finance Minister Tekpe says government has not abandoned plans to issue the Eurobond. There have been reports that government is likely to abandon the current issue because of rising rates on the international capital market. But speaking at the Meet the Press series on developments within the economy, Mr. Tekpe justified the reason for persistently going onto the international market to raise funds. He maintained it is the most appropriate way to manage the country's debt in a sustainable manner.
When we started in 2013, bond, which is the 2023 I was referring to earlier on, because it is in 10 years, we have to repay. We had around this area very huge bumps. The bump you see here, 2015, are domestic bonds which we did not redeem. And it's one of the reasons we took the 1 billion from the World Bank last year. Because if every 3 months I have to go to the market, and it's becoming tighter and tighter, and I have a sinking fund which is in law, which can generate revenue for 15 years, then let me convert the 3 months and the 1 year into what? That's 15 years, and use a sinking fund to manage it. So from the situation where we had significant ups and downs, today you can see that we are smoothing, going into 2030. And that's because last year's bond was not 10 years, it was for 15 years. And the earlier one we did in between the 10 years and the 15 years was what we call soft amortization for 12 years. So this is what we mean by we are extending the tenor or the period of redemption of our debt so that we can back it more effectively with an instrument like the sinking fund. This is what countries like Philippines and others do. And they are able to have good ratings because they are able to manage their debt in a more sustainable way. And this forms part of our medium-term planning, which I was talking about. And we are getting assistance from the World Bank and from others, who have been advising countries.
Right, you're welcome back to Joy News Prime. Now, the national youth organizer of the main opposition New Patriotic Party, Chale Wote, has accused President Mahama, the President Mahama-led administration, of imposing hardship on the people of the 3 regions of the north. According to him, the unbearable hardship in these areas and the country at large shows the president has failed to live up to expectation.
The demonstration that took close to 4 hours brought traffic to a halt, and all one could see was a sea of red and black clothes. They marched through the principal streets of Tamale amidst drumming and dancing with the tag slogan, Dimia Sheko She, meaning times are hard and so he must go. They finally converged at the Zegbeli School Park, where leaders of the various political parties addressed the demonstrators. The leadership included the NPP, UPP, CPP, APC, and the PNC. Speaker after speaker called for a change, each appealing to the demonstrators to vote for their various political parties. When the NPP National Youth Organizer, Samia Wuku, took to the podium, he accused the John Mahama administration of spending over 25 million Ghana cedis on the training of youth in bicycle riding, something he says is a hobby for everybody in the area. He said the John Mahama-led administration is only known for its mismanagement.
Mahama saying that they allocated 250 billion cedis to teach the youth in Tamale how to ride bicycle. Youth in bicycle riding. I beg you. This year, let us open our eyes. Those days when they need us to come and call us and say, our brother is contesting. As for this day, our eyes open. Let us put politicians first. When they promise they come, they won't deliver, you kick them out. They come, they won't deliver, you kick them out. So the one coming wants to license.
The organizers expressed satisfaction at the way and manner they demonstrated conducted themselves. For Joy News, Martina Bugri reporting from Tamale.
Right, so that demonstration that Martina Bugri just reported on was happening just about the same time President John Mahama was in the region, and the president slammed critics of his government who say the National Health Insurance Scheme is dying under his leadership. The president, addressing a rally of hundreds of supporters of the National Democratic Congress in Salaga to kickstart his 4-day campaign tour of the northern region, said under his leadership, the NHIS has grown from 9 million to 29 million outpatient visitations. He said in 2014 alone, his government paid more than 1 billion Ghana cedis to health facilities across the country for providing services to NHIS subscribers, and the scheme can't be an intervention, that it is dying. The president has also been assuring residents of Salaga that his government is working to ensure that works on the Salaga hospital are completed on time to provide quality health care to residents of the area.
We have extended the life of the NHIA from 2010 to 2016. It is still providing service. But if we want it to be sustainable, we need to restructure it. And that is why we are introducing computerized claim systems. That is why we are introducing capitation, so that we can make the NHIA more sustainable. So if anybody comes and tells you that the NHIA has collapsed, tell the person, we are going to make sure that it's more sustainable than it has ever been. And so I just wanted to leave you with that. And so I'm going to introduce the Member of Parliament who is standing as parliamentary candidate for the NDC party. Financial the country for treatment given to NHIA card holders was more than 1 billion Ghana cedis. I'm not talking of 1 billion old cedis. I'm talking of 1 billion Ghana cedis was paid to health facilities across the country, was paid to hospitals across the country for providing treatment. In 2014, that's even in 2014, 1 billion Ghana cedis. How can that be a scheme that has collapsed? What I'm doing as president is that when the NHIA was introduced, it was predicted that it could last only to 2010 from the way it was.
Also, the Volta regional wing of the governing National Democratic Congress is accusing the opposition New Patriotic Party of pursuing an agenda to rob the governing party of votes in the upcoming general elections. Speaking at a news conference, Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Kwakwa Nyidoho, accused the NPP of an anti-Volta agenda which seeks to create an impression that voters in the region are Togolese.
We are not a bunch of ethnic bigots in any form whatsoever. We do not believe in any shape and form of ethnic bigotry. We do not believe in any form of discrimination or segregation. We believe in one Ghana. We are full-blooded Ewes from the Volta region and very proud of our ancestry. The patriarchs of the Ewe land shall not forgive us if we do not contribute our quota to defending this region. My brothers and sisters, for reasons best known to the United Party, the UP tradition, Ewes and Voltarians have never been considered as true-blooded Ghanaians. The UP tradition has refused to accept the fact that Volta region long ceased to be part of Trans-Volta Togoland and is 100% part of Ghana. The UP tradition never loses any opportunity to cast vile aspersions at Volta region in particular, and Evers in general, and this is very sad and unfortunate. To put it bluntly, the UP tradition has no respect for us. How can anyone forget Victor Usu when he insulted us and referred to us as inward-looking people? Victor Usu was the presidential candidate of the UP Traditions Popular Front Party during the 79 general elections. And when he could not penetrate the Volta region because of his tribal superiority complex, he chose to insult us. It is these insulting utterances of the likes of Victor Usu that has made it extremely impossible for the UP tradition to have any meaningful voting base amongst Voltarians.
Still in the region, a former national vice chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Fred Oware, has appealed to party faithful across the country to be extra vigilant during the December 7 elections. According to him, the Mahama-led NDC has realized the NPP would be triumphant in the upcoming general elections, hence has fashioned plans to rig the polls. Fred Oware made these comments when he addressed a Teachers Arise for Change rally at the Peki College of Education in the South Dai district of the Volta region.
Teacher trainees who are taking a sandwich course at the Peki College of Education on Sunday went agog when the team led by the Volta Regional NPP chairman arrived on the campus. Amid cheers and applause, NPP executives, including the National Deputy General Secretary, Obri Boahen, took turns to address the teacher trainees, charging them to vote the Kufuor-led NPP to power to restore hope in Ghana. The former national vice chairman of the NPP, Fred Oware, described the NDC as experts in cheating during elections. He added that the NDC has again planned to put their cheating expertise to work during the December general elections, since the Mahama-led administration does not want to suffer the humiliation when their corrupt acts are exposed after they lose the 2016 general elections. He, however, charged NPP sympathizers to vigilantly monitor the election process at their various polling centers in order to achieve the change of government that Ghanaians are calling for.
We must make sure that we take part in the upcoming elections, not just by going to vote or convincing other people to vote, but you should make sure that actively you engage the electoral processes.
Mr. Oware also chastised the NDC government for not recording significant improvements in the education sector and also neglecting teachers. He hinted that the NPP's 2016 manifesto contains policies and programs aimed at improving the education sector, including teacher trainee education. The Volta Regional NPP chairman, John Peter Amewu, accused President Mahama of failing to fulfill the numerous promises he made to teachers during the 2012 campaign spree of the NDC. He also hinted that about 2,000 teachers on the government payroll are earmarked to be laid off as government endeavors to fulfill the IMF directive for 4,000 public workers to be laid off. Mr. Amewu also urged the teacher trainees to vote massively for the NPP to enable them implement its numerous policies aimed at saving Ghanaians from the current hardship in the country.
Multi-TV's premium entertainment channel Joy Prime picked up 6 awards at the Ghana Kids' Choice Awards held at the National Theatre on Friday, August 19. The channel, well known for its quality children's content, received awards including Favorite TV Station with most kids' content.
The channel manager of Joy Prime on Multi TV, Nanaya Sewa Sapong, was honored for outstanding contribution to kids television and entertainment at the Ghana Kids' Choice Awards. She used the opportunity to advise children to take life seriously, even as they have fun and enjoy being children.
It's an honor to receive this award. It's been a wonderful journey in my career. It's always been fun. You know, always pleasing people in their TV, by their TV sets, in their living rooms and wherever they find themselves. But I'm always most delightful to touch the lives of young people. It is an honor to receive this award once again. Thank you to God Almighty, to my family, to the wonderful family of Multimedia, and my amazing For Kids Paradise presenters, and everybody who enjoys For Kids and Joy Prime. Thank you so much.
The channel won Best Kids TV Series, Carousel, Special Awards, Kids News, News Generation, Child Star Yabiama, and Best Dressed Celebrity Seligali, host of premieres on Joy Prime. Hosts of the award-winning program shared their experience at the awards night.
Honestly, I had no idea this was going to happen, but I thank God Almighty. My hard work is really good. And I really thank you guys for watching News Generation. Keep watching News Generation on Wednesdays and Saturdays and Sundays on Joy Prime.
Well, today is my first time at the Kids Choice Award. Well, I was really expecting us to win, but I'm so overwhelmed that we won 5 big awards. It's so exciting.
I just want to say thank you to all kids out there who made these awards possible. We hope that you continue watching Joy Prime and continue watching For Kids Paradise.
There are too many kids, television shows and stations out there who care for their kids, but the programs that we do and the type of presenters that we have show the uniqueness of Joy Prime for Kids Belt, and I think that's the reason why they voted for us, because we give them good content, we give them uniqueness, we give them great education as well as entertainment.
Funny Face of Cow and Chicken fame was adjudged the favorite comedian. He revealed his love for children urges him to go on greater heights.
Yeah, it's a sweet show. I love it. I'm an international musician, so I came to perform. I love the show. I love the show.
All right, we're back from the weekend with entertainment. Ms. G, I'm sure you've got lots of interesting gossip.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I have a lot to share with you. You know that the Chale Wote Festival took place over the week, all through the week,
like it was
actually.
A huge one.
It was a huge one. On Saturday, it was more like, a friend said it was more like a whole week, more than a festival.
Okay.
Some people said it was a carnival, but, Chale Wote came off.
But it reminded me of, the street carnival we used to have back in Osu. Yeah, it's similar. And this morning, I was driving through the place. There was graffiti on the street.
Everywhere. The Chale Wote Festival, here are excerpts from that.
Is a Ga expression meaning buddy, let's go. The festival, organized by Accra.all, embraces street painting, graffiti, photography, interactive art, installations, poetry, walking tours, dance, film shows, fashion parades, live music performances, workshops, and more. More than 200 Ghanaian-based and international artists are part of this year's event, which took off Monday, August 15. The festival brochure explained the theme Spirit Robot as a constellation of art, energy, and passion that signifies our united capacity to create meaningful change in our communities and shift our realities into a more livable world for all. One of the innovative components of the festival this year has been the open gallery idea, which has roped in 6 galleries in Accra to show divergent elements of modern Ghanaian art. The Chale Wote Street Arts Festival has definitely become a major fixture on the Ghanaian art scene, and the organizers hope it will keep growing in the coming years.
All right, Gary is here with the sports. Good evening to you, Gary.
Good evening, Israel.
So what? The Olympics over?
Yes, finally.
All too soon.
Olympics.
Yeah, it's all over. And Usain Bolt, I think he was a star of the games.
Of the games.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay, take it away.
Right. Thank you for joining us on the Sport on Prime. Hi, I'm Gary Al Smith, and today we begin with news from the Premier League Board of the Ghana Football Association. You may have heard that the Sports Minister, Neil van der Poy, took a dig at the GFA and also the Ghana Premier League. He said that the Premier League is not attractive because it does not have sponsorship, and he also said that if it did have sponsorship, if it were attractive, then it would have attracted more sponsors by now. The PLB reacted in a very strongly worded statement saying that the comments were unnecessary and also stated several instances about why they felt this was wrong in terms of Neil van der Poy's assertions. In reacting to that, Samuel Adade Opele Boateng, former coach of Asante Kotoko, says that the PLB were right to react to that.
I think that it wasn't necessary for the PLB to have reacted to what the minister said, because Neil van der Poy, the Honorable Minister, did not say the league is unattractive totally. He said that there are some things that should have made the league more attractive, and so that's not what he's expecting. So to me, I think that they should have let it be a normal passing comment and let it go, instead of reacting to what the minister said. And even what the PLB brought out about the gate proceeds in the House Kotoko game being so high, to me, I think was not necessary. It was about the number of entrants. It was about figures, and it's House of Folk that hiked the prices on that day. So it does not mean that the figure shows that the league is attractive or not. I think they should have let it go and forget about it. Everything is going on well for the league. We've seen fantastic goals, we've seen interest, we've seen a whole lot of things. But then I think it wasn't necessary to react to what the minister said.
For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Israel Lai. Thank you very much for watching. Let's meet same time tomorrow. Have a good night.
This is Joy News Prime.